Hello grade 10s, welcome back to another video. Alright, so I just wanted to go through a few things that you guys have been asking for. Alright, so interval notation. Okay, so what is that? Okay, so when you're dealing with inequalities, okay, if you don't know what inequalities are, go watch my previous video. Alright, and when you're dealing with inequalities, okay, we always draw a number line. Okay, remember that? Always draw a number line. Okay, we draw a number line, something like this. Right, and let's say we had 5, and we say that x is greater than 5. Alright, greater than 5 means it's not including 5, and it's greater than 5. Alright, now interval notation is just another form of writing this. Okay, so instead of a number line, we're going to do interval notation. So it's not too complicated. Okay, so it's just exactly this, but just in a different format. Okay, so let's look at it. So let's look over here. So if we get my arrows here, right? So it says here that x is greater than 4. Does that mean it's including 4? No. Okay, if something's greater than 4, that means it's bigger than 4. It's not 4, it's bigger than 4. All right, so I'm going to draw my number line. All right, and we're going to say, okay, I'm going to label my 4. Okay, so x is greater than 4. X is greater than 4. All right, so is it including? No, it's not including. All right, and if it's not including and it says it's greater than 4, it's going to go to the right like this. Okay, so that's my number line. Now, how am I going to represent this in a different format? Okay, so can you see that x is greater than 4, meaning that it's going up forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay, so x can be any value from 4 until infinity. All right, it never stops. It can be any value above 4, any value. All right, so this arrow never stops going. Okay, so it goes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for infinity. All right, so I'm going to infinity. All right, so which one's bigger, 4 or infinity? Infinity, obviously. Okay, so if we look here, we're going to have a little semicolon. Okay, and on the left hand side, we're going to put the smallest number. Okay, so from 4 to infinity, which one's the smallest? 4. Okay, that goes on the left, and on the right hand side, the biggest number, right, which is infinity over here. Okay, infinity. Okay, and now, are we including 4? No, we're not including 4. Okay, so we're going to use a curly bracket. Okay, curly bracket for 4. Right, and can you ever reach infinity? Is there a specific numeric value for infinity? Are you ever going to get there? No, I'm never going to reach infinity. So am I ever going to include infinity? No, because I can never reach it. Okay, it goes on forever. Right, I can never reach infinity. So it's never going to include infinity. So I'm also going to have a curly bracket. Okay, and then I want you guys to do some fancy little symbol here. All right, so x is an element of this. Okay, so this is just a fancy way of saying that x can be any value between 4 and infinity. Okay, between 4 and infinity. Not including 4, not including infinity. So it's just a fancy way of saying that x is anything from 4 to infinity. Right, so x is an element of this. Alright, so you can just get all of this from your number line. Alright, so if you know how to draw a number line, you know how to do this. Easy peasy things. Alright, so let's practice another one. Let's look here. Now it says that x is greater than or equal to 4. Okay, so let's draw the number line here. Let's see if we can do it. Alright, so I'm going to label 4. Right, and they say that x is greater than or equal to 4. So is it including 4? Of course it is. Alright, of course it is. So we're going to include 4. I'm going to draw a little dot. And it says x is greater than or equal to 4. So it's going to the right, greater than 4. Okay, 4 greater. Anything greater than 4. Alright, now I want you to write this in interval notation. Interval notation. So we're going to start. X is an element of. Okay, so let me draw my little colon. Alright, now I ask myself, what goes on the left? The smallest number. Okay, so where is x going to? Okay, so it's starting at 4 and it's going to which direction? To infinity. It's going to infinity. Alright, it's going to keep going, keep going, keep going. So we're going to stop. Alright, so smallest number here, 4 or infinity? The 4. So the 4 goes on the left. Okay, and the biggest number goes on the right. Okay, infinity there. Right, am I ever going to reach infinity? No, so I'm never going to include infinity. Alright, so curly bracket if I'm not including. Alright, now the 4. Am I including 4 over here? Yes, I'm including 4. Alright, so now I'm going to use a different bracket. I'm going to use a square bracket. Right, so whenever I'm including, we're going to use a square bracket over there. Alright, so that's interval notation, guys. That's as difficult as it gets. Okay? Nothing difficult about that. The only thing really is that you need to know firstly this infinity stuff, alright, and then also the brackets. Which bracket am I using? Am I including 4? Yes, I am. Okay, square bracket. I'm not including something, curly bracket. Right, that's the only thing. Okay? Other than that, it's easy stuff. Alright, let's go to the next example here. Right? So here it says x is smaller than 7. Smaller than 7. Okay, so let's draw a number line. Alright, let's visualize this a little bit. Alright, so we're going to put the number 7 here. Alright, am I including 7? No, I'm not including 7. Alright, so I'm going to draw a circle. And it says x is smaller than 7. Okay, am I going to go to the right or to the left? I'm going to go to the left. Okay, because x is smaller than 7. Alright, now let's look what's happening here. Okay, where's x going to? Where's it going to? It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller forever and ever and ever. Right? Where's it going to? It's going to negative infinity there. Okay, it's going in the opposite direction. Okay, remember this way we went infinity. Now we're going to the opposite direction. So we're going to negative infinity. Alright, so now let's put this in interval notation. Okay, so we say x is an element of. Okay, so you put the colon. And then what number goes on the left? The smallest one. Which one's smaller between negative infinity and 7? Negative infinity is the smallest. Very good. Okay, it's infinitely small, so it has to be the smallest. Okay, makes sense. Alright, and the biggest one is 7. Alright, then am I including 7? No, I'm not. Am I including negative infinity? No, I'm never going to get there. Okay, so I'm never going to get to infinity. It's always going to go on and on and on. Okay, so I'm also not going to include negative infinity. Alright. Okay, let's see if we can do the next one. Alright, now it says x is smaller than or equal to 7. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit quicker this time. Draw a nice number line. Right, and then I'm going to label 7 here. Okay, am I including 7? Yes, I am. And I am smaller than 7. Right, there's my number line. Let's do interval notation here. X is an element. Put my colon. Right, where's x going to? Going to negative infinity. Right, it's going all the way to negative infinity. Which one's smaller, negative infinity or 7? Good, negative infinity goes that side. 7 goes on that side. Am I including 7? Yes, I'm including it. Now it's going to be a different kind of bracket. What bracket? The square bracket. Very good. Alright, and then am I ever going to get to negative infinity? No, so I'm not going to include it. Okay, that's interval notation. Alright, let's see what's happening here. Alright, so now they say that x is greater than or equal to 0 and x is smaller than 7. Let's put that on a number line. Alright, so they're saying that x is in between two numbers. Alright, so x is in between 0 and 7. So 0 is going to go on the far left because it's smaller, and then 7 is going to go on the right somewhere. Okay, so x is in between 0 and 7, alright? So, am I including 0? Am I including it? Yes, I'm including it. Okay, because it says x is smaller than or equal to 0. I'm including. Alright, and then, am I including the 7? No, so I'm going to put a circle there. Alright, and we're saying that x is in between these two dots, so what am I going to do? I'm going to connect them. Very good. Right, so x can be any value in between 0 and 7. So it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it can't be 7, okay, because we're not including 7. All right, so now we say that x is an element. This is my interval notation now. Okay, I'm going to put my colon. Okay, which two values am I working with? Where's x? It's in between two values. All right, so in the previous one, it was in between negative infinity and 7. Right, in the other ones, it was between negative infinity and 7 and 4 and infinity. Right, so there's always two values that x is in between. So here, x is in between 0 and 7. Which one's the smallest one? 0, and the biggest 7. Okay, so the smallest one always goes on the left and the biggest one on the right. Okay, so you read it from left to right. So left to right, 0, 7, 0, 7. Right, then am I including 0? Yes, I am. So what type of bracket am I going to use? A square. Very good. Right, am I including 7? No. So what type of bracket? Curly bracket. All right, and there we go. Simple things. Okay, and that's interval notation, guys. Nothing difficult at all. All right, let's look here. All right, so here it says here, write the following using interval notation. Okay, so this is going to be our last example for today. All right, so let's put it on a number line. We'll go a little bit quicker now. All right, so we say it's in between. X is in between negative 4 and 1. Okay, so x is in between negative 4 and 1. Okay, are we including negative 4? No, we're not. So we're going to put a circle. Right, am I including 1? Yes, I am. So I'm going to draw a dot. All right, and then I say x is in between these two numbers. Okay, so it's smaller than 1 and it's bigger than negative 4. All right, so I'm going to join those dots over there. All right, let's put that in interval notation. So we say x is an element. Right, put my semicolon. All right, and it's in between which two values? Negative 4 and 1. Very good. Okay, negative 4 is the smallest one, goes on the left. 1 is the bigger one, goes on the right. Okay, am I including negative 4? No. Okay, good. So what type of bracket? Curly bracket. Very good. Am I including 1? Yes, I am. All right, good. What type of bracket? Square bracket. Okay, and there we go, grade 10s. Okay, nothing too difficult about that. Okay, and that is your interval notation, okay, with inequalities. All right, I hope that helps.